Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's so good to have you all here. Thank you for tuning in again. If you've been following this journey, you'll know it's been quite a season of growth and learning for me, both academically and spiritually. Today, I want to share a moment that really tested my faith and reminded me of how easy it is to slip if we're not grounded. It's a bit personal, but I feel led to share it because someone out there might need to hear it. This happened just a few days before an important exam. I was feeling overwhelmed with studying and trying to juggle everything. Kurt, being the helpful and supportive person he is, offered to come over and help me prepare. At first, I hesitated, thinking it might not be a good idea. But then I thought, he's been such a blessing in my life and this is just studying. What could go wrong? That day, the house was quiet and I made sure everything was in order. My books were neatly spread out on the table, ready for our study session. When Kurt arrived, he was his usual self, calm, composed, and so encouraging. He brought some snacks and even joked about how I looked too stressed. His presence was comforting, and I was genuinely grateful for his help. As we started going through the material, things felt normal, even productive. We quizzed each other, discussed key concepts, and for a while, I felt confident about the upcoming exam. But then, as the evening wore on, something shifted. Not in Kurt's behavior, but in my own thoughts. I began to feel vulnerable. I couldn't quite put my finger on it, but the combination of his kindness, his presence, and my own feelings of gratitude started stirring something in me. It wasn't anything he said or did, it was just this overwhelming sense of connection. And suddenly, I felt like I was standing at the edge of something dangerous. You know that moment when your mind starts playing tricks on you? When you begin to justify thoughts you shouldn't be entertaining? That was me. I started questioning myself. Is this harmless? Why am I feeling this way? Is it just the stress making me overly emotional? Kurt, bless his heart, was completely unaware of the internal battle I was fighting. He was focused on the material, asking questions, and even giving me little pep talks when I got answers wrong. But I found myself distracted, not by the exam content, but by this unspoken tension I was feeling. It wasn't his fault. He didn't cross any boundaries or do anything inappropriate, but I realized how quickly a situation can shift, even with the best of intentions. My gratitude for his help started to feel like something else. And for a moment, I questioned if it was obligation or something deeper that made me feel this vulnerable. I had to excuse myself. I got up, went to my room, and took a moment to pray. I asked God to give me clarity, strength, and the ability to discern my emotions. I needed to refocus, to remind myself of who I am and whose I am. And in that moment, I realized that the enemy often uses subtle situations to test us, not with obvious sins, but with thoughts and feelings that can lead us astray if we're not careful. When I came back, I was calmer, more grounded. Kurt noticed and asked if I was okay. I told him I was just tired, and we wrapped up the study session soon after. As he left, I couldn't help but feel a mix of relief and guilt. Relief that nothing had happened, but guilt that I had even entertained those thoughts in the first place. That night, as I lay in bed, I reflected on the experience. I realized how important it is to guard not just our actions, but our minds and hearts. Even in the most innocent of situations, we have to be vigilant. It's not about the other person, it's about how we handle our own vulnerabilities. I share this story not to make myself look strong or righteous, but to show you how human I am. We all face moments of weakness. What matters is how we respond. Do we let those moments define us, or do we turn to God for strength and guidance? For anyone who has ever felt this way, whether it's a fleeting thought or a lingering temptation, know that you're not alone. It doesn't make you a bad person. It makes you human, but it's what you do in those moments that counts. Remember to pray, to seek wisdom, and to surround yourself with accountability. This experience taught me so much about myself and my walk with God. It also made me more cautious and intentional about how I handle relationships and situations. But it's not the end of the story. Something happened a few weeks later that really tested everything I thought I knew about boundaries and faith. I'll share that in the next episode, so stay tuned. Thank you for listening, for allowing me to be vulnerable, and for being a part of this journey. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Have you ever faced a moment like this? How did you handle it? Let's talk about it. Until next time, stay blessed.